Good morning. This is Mike Houston with your Tuesday morning weather hazard briefing for southeast Idaho. We continue to see critical fuels across the region. A lot of these areas that are yellow are near critical. And if we look at the ERC percentiles, most of them are in the 50th percentile or greater. There are some few sites here that are still below 50%. Looking at our satellite imagery this morning, we see a broad high pressure across the southern states with a low pressure center off the northwest Canadian coast. And in between, we have a southwest flow across Idaho with some embedded systems pushing through the region, helping to produce some thunderstorm activity across the central mountains overnight tonight. If we look at the forecast charts for today, we still see some lingering moisture and instability, enough to support at least some isolated activity here in the Sam and Mackey and on over to West Yellowstone area. Maybe even some activity here extending back from Palisades to McCammon this afternoon. Daytime highs generally running in the 90s here in the Snake River Plain, mid-80s to lower 90s in the Central Mountains, and mid-80s to mid-90s here in the Southeast Highlands. Minimum humidities running a little high for this time of year, generally 15 to 25% across the board. Looking at the forecast charts here for Wednesday, we see a subtropical low lifting north out of Utah with the accompanying precipitation lifting up through Utah into southwest Wyoming. On the leading edge of this monsoon push, we could see some isolated to scattered activity up here from Mackey up through the Dillon area along this corridor. And certainly I think back here closer to the offending system, we could see some activity here across the southeast highlands in terms of isolated to scattered showers for sure. Maybe some embedded thunderstorms in there isolated on Wednesday afternoon. By Thursday, that subtropical system now lifting off into northeast Wyoming, and with the fairly clear skies in the morning and lingering moisture and instability, we should begin to pop some fairly widespread shower and thunderstorm activity across the region on Thursday, maybe even enough to support a red flag for thunderstorm activity. That low pressure system that was off the coast now begins to lift northeast into western Canada. The interaction with that incoming system and lingering moisture should be enough here on Friday afternoon to support some isolated thunderstorm activity throughout the Central Mountains and perhaps up in the upper Snake Highlands and Snake Plain here. The system is a little further north than we were seeing yesterday, so the threat of wind is probably not as great as we saw on yesterday's progs. Advancing to Saturday, it looks like the subtropical high here is beginning to reload with moisture basically remaining down here towards the Four Corners region, but enough lingering moisture and instability to support perhaps some isolated activity. The models are showing a weak system rotating up through the top of that high pressure ridge and over the region here Saturday night into Sunday, which may be enough to spark some isolated nocturnal thunderstorms Sunday night or Saturday night going into Sunday. And then once we get to Monday, we see the ridge reloading, another subtropical wave lifting north out of Utah. Looks like an endless parade of these subtropical waves and the moisture spreading up into Idaho, enough that will probably suppress a great deal of fire activity across the region. That's all I have for you today. If you had any comments or questions, you can give me a call here at the number on the screen. Thank you.